Hello, welcome to Mainichi Japan Vid. And today we're gonna have another low quality video about Japanese, and so on. And today I want to introduce you to my favorite dictionary, which is jisho.org. Jisho.org. Jisho itself means dictionary in Japanese. Of course, it's not written with Romaji, it's written with kanji, but this is basically the best dictionary out there, I believe. The one minus point is that it doesn't have an app. So for apps, I think there are several apps that are kind of similar in quality. I personally use Takoboto, but yeah, I mean, anything works. Okay, now let's go on. Why is Jisho the best? First of all, you can just look Japanese words in Romaji, which is the Roman alphabet. So, for example, if I want to look, oh, what does ie means? Ie. Then you get it. Ie. Even though you write in Romaji, you still get the kanji, right? It's not limited to, you have to write using hiragana. Well, I guess most dictionary also do work this way nowadays. But yeah, Jisho is the gold standard. And then what else? House, of course. If you look for house, you're gonna get the same thing. You're gonna get ie. So if you look for a Japanese word, you're gonna get it. What else can you use? Kanji. Well, of course. No question asked. Here, what else you do have? You have draw, right? So if you want to draw the kanji for ie, uh, yeah, and then we have it here. I mean, yeah, it's not perfect. Just maybe my drawing's bad. Maybe the capture is not as good. But here you have ie, right? So you can also draw. So if you see like a kanji, you're not sure how to read it, you can draw it. You can also, of course, use your phone to look it up. But if you're a student, it's better to try to write it so you have it sticks better in your memory. Okay, what else? Radicals, right? So if you know the radicals, let's try to write ie. Ie would be 1, 2, 3. Where is it? It's not here. Yeah, so yeah, there's like this. There's an ichi here. There's the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, radical, you kind of need to know how to write. Let's use a simpler one. For example, for the kanji of tomorrow, or let's just say akarui, bright, which means bright. That's the kanji of sun and moon. So you can just look for the sun. Sun is how many strike? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can just look at here, right? 4 strikes here, 4, and then you look, because the sun is a radical, so you also need to know radical. I guess it's not that easy now that I'm explaining it to you, but if you're like a student of Japanese language, it's not that difficult. So here I get akarui, right? Okay, so it has that. But what's my favorite? I mean, before we go to my why I love this, let's remove radical. You can use voice, but nah, no thanks. Haven't even tried it actually. Wait. We don't want to use voice radical, not row or here. Okay. And then you can choose, look for only kanji, right? Sentences, names, nouns, verb, adjective. So you can actually look. So nouns, I want nouns. I want, what's a word? Uh, that's a noun. I don't know. Kaeri. Kaeri, right? I only get the, oops, this is not what I want. I guess I should use hiragana here, kaeri. And I get here, this is noun, right? Yeah. Okay. But I usually just use all. Here, I don't know because N1, N2, N3, N4, N5, it's not the same. The standard can vary based on website, so we don't care about this. We just say all. And then what's good about this, it tells you if it's a noun, right? So that's good. But like noun are obvious. Na adjective also tells you, for example, takai is an E adjective. It's gonna tell you takai, E adjective, or keyoshi, right? And then you have kirei, which is an adjective. So kirei, an adjective, or a keiyodoshi. Keiyodoshi is how Japanese people call an adjective. So actually, Japanese people, they don't know what E adjectives are and na adjective are. For them, adjectives or keiyoshi are just the E adjectives. And na adjective, they call them keiyodoshi, right? But yeah, that's just the way we learn as like foreigners. So Japanese as a second language, and the way native Japanese people learn it is a bit different. And that just makes sense. I'd love to make a video about that one day. Okay, now we go to verbs. Of course, if you have learned Japanese, you know there are three kind of verbs, which are the verb one. For example, kau, right? Is a verb one, kau. And here it's said godang verb. So verb one actually in Japanese are called godang with an u ending. Well, obvious much. And I also love this. This is a transitive verb. So it needs, I guess in quotation marks, needs an o, right? Something o kau, right? Or it can use an o, right? So this is transitive verb, which in Japanese is called tadoshi. And then we can look for other, let's look for other verb one or godang verb. For example, kaeru, the go home one. Kaeru, right? Godang verb with ru ending. Yes, thank you. I mean, the ru ending, I think this is like the least important one because it's obvious here, right? Intransitive verb. So this is intransitive, so you don't use o kaeru, basically, right? And then there are like example sentence, koibito yo ware ni kaere. Lover, come back to me, right? This is like quite an interesting example. And you can also look other sentences if you want. Links, sentence search. So you can see many sentences. 私が仕事から帰ってくると、夫はパジャマのまま、だらしなくソファに寝そべってテレビを見ていた。So, here is the kaeru. Oh, so if you see like a new word, I'm like, you're gonna see the English translation, right? But you're going like, what does that mean? Like return? Well, this one is easy enough, but sometimes there are verbs, especially when you're higher level, like entry and two. Like there are some verbs that don't they have the same meaning? Like in English, it looks like it's the same. I'm not sure about the difference. You can look at sentences, so it helps you get a better idea of the nuance of how we use it in Japanese. And then, of course, you will see verb two, for example, taberu. Taberu is an ichidang verb. So, verb one, taberu, ichidang. No, sorry, it is group two. Ichidang is group two. So this is a bit annoying, but in Japanese, the way we classify it as Japanese language learner, we say there's group one, group two, and group three, right? Japanese people, they call this one godang. I'm just gonna use hiragana. Romaji, I'm sorry. Godang, and then they call this one ichidang, which is annoying, right? Because, hey, ichi should be like one, but yeah, just the way it is. So here they use the Japanese version, but this is actually group two, and you should know, like, and then it also tells you if it's transitive, intransitive, and then, for example, group three in Japanese you don't have group three. Let me show you how it's called. So obviously group three are suru and kuru, right? Suru. It's they just say suru verb. Oops, let me clean this up. A suru verb. Suru verb, right? And then kuru, the other verb three, kuru verb, special class, right? It's just a special class. In Japanese, also you would call them the sa verb and the ka verb, or the the s verb and k verb, because when they change, they always start with sa or with the s or the k. Yeah, and that's like basic. Okay, now this where it gets interesting. For example, let's say we have iku, right? Godang verb, iku yuku special class. I'm not actually sure about why this is. Probably because When it changes, it becomes like itte. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Uh, Now here we have like many meanings, right? It can means to go, just the normal one. Move through, travel across, right? Oita, right? This use the particle o here. To go well or badly, umakuita, right? Umakuikimashita, it went well. What else it means? Do to die, right? So ita you can also say when someone pass away, you can say iku, right? Ita. And uh, here the kanji for iku is this, right? But when you talk about someone passing away, usually written as iku, this iku, right? So it tells you when there are like exceptions. So it's the same, kind of the same iku, but you don't write it with iku. If it means to pass away, you write it like this. Uh, yes, this meaning also it's colloquial. So this is what I like, that colloquial like words that are, how to say, daily, like people the way, like slang sometimes just when you speak, right? uh so what is it called? Not casual language, colloquial, right? Speaking, spoken language. So here, and it's usually written using kana, right? In kana alone, in katakana even. uh and then here, like rarely use kanji form, they show you here as well, right? Here, so it can be like this, other forms. And then we also already, of course, have this one, which means to pass away, right? Uh, yeah. So here, for the, you can you can see here, right? They give it. This is to pass away. Iku. And yes, what I really like, they have slangs, and they also have like newspaper language and stuff. They're gonna tell you. There's a, I can't recall what it was, but I was reading a newspaper. I had no idea what they were saying. And I look it up here and say, usually used in journalism. Like, oh, really useful. For example, let's look at slang. Guguru. To Google, right? This is colloquial. Like, I don't know if it shows up in other dictionaries, but it always shows up here. And there's other examples I learned from my student when, while she was like uh, browsing through the internet, which unfortunately I cannot show here because they're not SFW. Uh, but those are like basically uh, colloquial. So it's very very updated. Uh, I don't know where this comes from. I guess it might just be the database that's good, but like Gshore definitely is. I love using it. It's just easy, it's simple. You don't need to use hiragana or kanji. You can just type it like this, and colloquial words like they're like readily included here. Uh, what's a new like wanchan? Wanchan is something young people use a lot, I guess. Wanchan. Not this one. Hmm. Is it? Did it not make it here? Like that's kind of like, yeah. Everything needs to be in katakana. I was wrong. Wanchan. So this is like, I did not know this. I'm sorry. I'm not like trying to show you this kind of words. But like this is slang, right? Colloquial is like spoken language, right? And this is like more slang. So and wanchan also means dog, which is in Japanese it's inu, but because inu in Japanese, the sound for inu is wang wang, so barking instead of bow wow or woof or uh, whatever it is in your language. It's wang wang in Japanese, and so that's why it's called wanchan, because it's an animal that makes the wang sound. Which is why cats, for example, like just going off on a tangent, cats are called nyanchang. Oops, nyan. I believe they're called nyanchang. Uh, yeah, nyacha. I don't know. I believe I'm definitely making a mistake. I don't know, but like yeah, wanchan, and then there's this wanchan which is like just a slang, which come from one chance. There's a one chance when I put it. There's a possibility. There's a possibility that perhaps maybe, so for example we're like do you want to go to this bar, I guess, I don't know. And they're like, but isn't it usually closed? Nah, not really, because tomorrow's holiday, right? So one chan it's still open. Ah, yeah, let's go, right? One chan, there's a possibility it's open. Like that's like words people used to use when I was in Japan. I think maybe now it's dated. Manji, for example, right? Which is the swastika, yeah. Not the Nazi one though. It's like the Buddhism one in temples, right? So here is used as a symbol for Buddhist temples on maps. Like the explanation is like good, and here it's like, wow, yeah, yeah, asam. It's internet slang, right? Like manji something, right? Like really something. So, like even words that are like this, they're like really new, I guess, and like that are like specific terms used in like a certain profession. Also, they make it here to just show. So that's why I think it's the most powerful. Other than that, like I think most dictionary would serve your purpose, but so it's just awesome that way. It's like real complete. Okay, so that's it for this video. See you in another video.